Ma'am, can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello.
May I request the participants to download both the CSV files to the working machine. Kindly refer your WhatsApp group that I have shared two CSV files. And please download the same in your working machine.
Good afternoon all. We welcome you all for the session 3. We will continue our session 3 with our speaker Dr. P. Tyagarajan in the topic hands-on session for Python introduction. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you please convert my role as a host so that me to share the presentation? In the meanwhile, may I request the participants to refer the WhatsApp group, which is created dedicatedly for this workshop, and I have shared you two CSV files. Please download the same in the working machine, and also you are asked to give the feedback for my previous session. Please give the feedback. So in the meantime, I will wait for others to join. 2 minutes for this. In the meantime, we will wait for others to join. Exactly 32 or 2:32, I will start the session. We'll wait. While waiting, please do this. Both the things if you are not done already. audible? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible.
I hope all of you downloaded the CSV file in the system. Okay. I assume that you downloaded that CSV file, both CSV file in the system, with the working system, then we'll start the session. So, welcome back for the session 2, this 5 days FTP. So, today morning we have discussed about big data analytics and tools available for big data analytics. Among that, why Python tops them, why we need to learn Python, and why it is for data analytics. And we have seen some of the basics on Python, like data structures and conditions and loops. Okay, similarly, we also seen one of the top Python data analysis library also we have seen. Now we'll see quickly the data analytics project life cycle. So, starts from the discovery phase. The second phase of data analytics projects life cycle is data preparation, data modeling. Third is data modeling. Fourth is data building. Fifth is communication. Sixth is operationalize. So, in this next 2 hours, we are going to see only the first 3 phases, like discovery, data preparation, and data model planning. So, discovery, data preparation, model planning. The third phase will not get in deep. That will be covered by tomorrow's session. Extensively look for both phase 1 project cycle and phase 2 process. Completely look 1 and 2. And slightly we will touch the model planning. But then now as a part of the discussion of this project, data analytics project life cycle, we will discuss what these all phases are all about. But then we are going to work extensively only on the first 2 phases. So the first phase is nothing but the discovery phase. So in this discovery phase, data analytics team learn and investigate the problem. So they will first investigate what is the problem to be addressed. They will try to understand what is the data is all about, what is the data set is all about. First they will fix the problem. To fix the problem, they have to get the data set. After getting the data set, they have to fix the problem. After getting the data set, they will try to learn and investigate how this problem can be addressed from this particular data set. So in the first phase, discovery phase, we should know where to get the data set for the particular problem. So choosing a problem, suppose I want to know what is the stage of corona, US, a month back. Among that, I want to compare the statistics of corona in different states of US. So if this is the problem I want to work on, then I have to know where should I get the data? Authentic data. I cannot get some junk data and I cannot work. I have to get the data which is very authentic so that I can really work on and can use some outcomes that will be of public interest. So if in that phase, that getting the data sources, correct data sources, is one of the main phase of discovery. To come to know what data sources needed and available for the project. You have to choose the correct data set from the correct sources. And if the source of the data is wrong, then ultimately all your efforts will be in vain, because what we are going to outcome, what we are going to predict, what are the business suggestions you are going to give after data analysis, everything will go in vain. So you have to download the appropriate and authentic data set for the problem. So after you frame the problem and you have the correct data set, then we'll go for data preparation, which is the second phase. This is a very, very important phase. Many of you think that this is not as important. Only the building a model for the data analysis problem is very important. No? This is the very important phase, because this is the phase which will be giving us input for the model. The input is very lousy. If the input is very filthy, if the input is very erroneous, then the output will be a big question. So this data preparation phase is a very important phase. If you refer to the Professor Geeta ma'am lecture in today's morning session, she said that data analytics, we use machine learning models. But surprisingly, the fact is that the machine learning model is also being used for the data preparation phase. How that we'll see in that, I have 2 sample demos we'll discuss, and we'll explain how this machine learning model is playing a role in data preparation phase itself. That I will show with an example. So in data preparation phase, we will explore the data, we'll pre-process the data, and condition data prior to modeling and analysis. So what is you want to explore the data? See, if you have a problem, then you bring the data set for the problem. Not all the data set means is nothing but imagine that is a table consists of rows and columns. Not all the columns will be of interest to the problem. That means in the data set need not contain only the essential things for the problem. Data set may contain some essential things, may contain some things which is not required for solving the problem. So first of all, you should explore what are the columns present there, which of the column is contributing for the problem, and whether the data which is present in the column is error-free. Error-free mechanism sometimes, see, the data set actually will be created by a machine or it may be manually entered by person. So there may be always some errors, like outliers will be there, like some type of mistakes will be there, or some instrumentation error will be there. So we have to be very careful with those kind of data. That how to find out the erroneous data set, or how to find the outliers in the data set, or how to make sure that a column contains so many missing values. Imagine that you have a data set, you have a particular column, the column contains so many missing values. How to handle the missing values? So all these things will come into the data preparation phase. So it is a very, very important phase, and you have to spend most of the time for preparing the data for building a model. So rather than spending more time for model and then to refine the model, you have to spend, I think, 50% of the time should be spent for you in preparing the data for doing analysis. Very important case. Next, we have model planning. So in model planning, that will always explore the relationship between the variables. Karima Arora, can you please mute? Karima Arora, can you please mute? Okay, thank you. So in the phase 3 model planning, the team will always explore the data to learn the relationship between variables and subsequently select key variables in the most suitable models. As I said, a data set will contain a huge number of columns. All columns will not be of interest to solve the problem. We need to find which of the columns is really contributing for the problem and how these columns are related to each other. So generally, I'm saying a column in a data set. Table, I'm saying a column. When you come to these machine learning aspects and when you come to the data analytics part, we will not say it is a column. We use a technical term called feature. Each and every column we call it as a feature. The technical term features is a column. So we need to understand what are the feature is contributing to the problem and how these features interact with themselves. I have two columns. Imagine that I have a study database for a student. Okay, and the study database contains. Imagine I have a column which is saying that how much hours a student is spending on extracurricular activities, and how much hours he is spending in library, and how much mark he scored. Imagine that three columns: how much time he spent for extracurricular, how much time he spent in library, how much marks he scored. So if we carefully analyze these features, each and every column I said here, right, there's not the features. How these columns are related to each other. Definitely, the number of times he refers to the library, it always related with the number of marks he scored, how much marks he scored. So we have to find out these kind of, this relationship is coming from common intuition of mine, but generally you have to have a domain knowledge also to find the relationship among the features. The feature interaction in data analysis or in the machine learning is again a research area by itself. Many people are now slowly, rather than working on the machine learning models and improving the accuracy, now the PhD research is going on towards this feature interaction in the data analytics part. How this feature interact among themselves and contributing to the problem. That's again an upcoming research area in data analytics coming apart from the research. So in the model planning phase, the team will always explore the relationship between the features and also to collect the key variables that is contributing for the problem. So in this phase, data science team develop data sets for training, testing, and production purposes. The fourth phase is nothing but model building. In this phase, the team develop data sets for testing, training, and for production purpose. The team also considers whether it's an existing tool is sufficient for running the model, or they need more robust environment or more sophisticated tool to run the model. That's in the fourth phase is nothing but where we'll decide which machine learning algorithms will be working on. Fifth phase is the communication phase. So after you develop, after you prepare the data, after you plan for the model, after you build the model, you have to communicate the results from the model. After executing the model, you need to now communicate the results to the team members and the stakeholders who will be really using the results. So the team should correctly identify what are the key findings from the machine learning models, and they have to quantify the business values, and they have to summarize this finding to the stakeholders, how it will be helpful for them. The sixth phase is nothing but operational phase. So in this team, communicates the benefits of the project more broadly and sets up a pilot project. So before directly using this outcome from this data analytics project, what they will do, they will use the outcomes from this data analytics project in a pilot project. Okay, small pilot means what, a mini version, like the prototype. Like in software engineering, you will have a prototype, right, before I develop the main product. Similarly, what they can do is they can do before actually implementing the output from the data analytics project life cycle directly to the business, they will apply the results to the pilot project, and they will see whether that is fruitfully giving the appropriate results. If the pilot project is successful, then they will apply directly to the business. So these are some of the 6 phases in data analytics, and as I said, in today's demonstration session, we'll be discussing only on the phase 1, phase 2 thoroughly, and some parts of phase 3. And then phase 4 model building will be completely dealt in the forthcoming editions. So now we are going to see a demonstration and how we are going to collect, explore, and understand the data is there in the data set. So for that, I'd like to share my web page, Mozilla Firefox. Can you able to see Mozilla Firefox? Class. Oh, thank you. So again, you have to go for this Jupyter notebook. Type Jupyter notebook in your browser. Open this jupyter.org. Please open the notebook. Please open the notebook, jupyter.org. If you can't able to follow, please stop me so that I can repeat the process. Then if you scroll through this website, there will be try it in your browser. Please click this button, try it in your browser. If you click try it in your browser, then a page will be open with so many icons. Then please click on try Jupyter Lab. Please try Jupyter Lab. Click on this try Jupyter Lab. Click this, then the binder will bind, and they will be having the working environment for Python. The browser is visible? Yeah. Saying that web page is problem need to close. It will cancel. Are you able to see my browser?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Kindly bear with me. There is a network issue due to the climate, and if I am not available internet, kindly ping me the WhatsApp so that I can resume my connection. And can you able to see my web page? Hello. Hello. Able to?
No, sir.
Are you able to hear my voice?
We can hear
Yes, sir.
on screen.
Okay, can I request the host to make my role as presenter so that I can share the web page? Who and then?
Dr. Tyagarajan, what to be done from our side? Anything to be done?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My connection is lost. I just reconnected. I just
Okay.
want my role to be changed as a presenter so that I can share my web browser.
Oh, 1 second. I'll inform this.
In the meantime, I request the participants to download the CSV file. If any of you have not downloaded the CSV file, please download it into the working machine because we are going to work that data set for another 45 minutes. Okay, if you're done, it's good. If you're not done, you can make use of this time to download the same. In the meantime, I will share my web browser. Thank you. Now it is. So all of you open to this Jupyter. All of you open this Jupyter.
Yes.
Jupyter Lab. How if you open this web page?
Yeah.
Yes, good. So now I ask you to download the two data sets, right? Now you can upload the data set to the working environment. So now this is the working environment for us. So we are going to explore the data set which I have shared in the WhatsApp group. So first data set is nothing but Titanic. Second data set is nothing but diabetics. First we are going to work on this Titanic data set. So I want to bring this Titanic data set to the working environment to bring the, so there is an upload arrow on where can you able to do this? Hello? Sandhya Bhattacharya, can you please mute yourself? So please click this upload icon. If you click this upload icon, you will be the file browser will come, and you can in that you can click this Titanic CSV file which I have already shared. So after clicking that, please click open. So if you click open, this Titanic data set will be loaded. See here, now the Titanic.csv file is loaded into working environment. So now this is the data set in which we are going to explore for the next 40 minutes. Please upload this. If you don't upload that to the working environment, you cannot able to explore the data set. So for that, you have to upload. See here, there's an upload arrow. So click this. Click, it will go to the file browser will come. Go to the appropriate place where you have downloaded that CSV file. Go to the particular location and click on this Titanic CSV file and click open. If you click open, then you can see the Titanic CSV file being uploaded. You click this Titanic CSV file. You can click and see this file also. See, if you click this Titanic.csv, then you can see the data set which is being uploaded in the Jupyter Lab. My internet, see, this is the data set. Can you able to see passenger ID, survey, P class, name, gender, age, SAPSP, parts, ticket, fare, cabin, embark. So this is the data set we are going to work for the next 45 minutes. Once you upload it, then we can upload and you can check this, what is the data set contains. So this is the data set containing many columns, and if you see the rows in the data set is nothing but 418 rows are there. So we're going to see. So ultimate purpose of the data set is that to predict, given the data, given the details of the passenger, we are going to predict whether a person will survey or not. This is the target variable. The surveyed is right. This is the target variable, and rest are all the input variables. So this is the output. So we are going to build a model. If we give the required inputs, if we give the required features to that model, the model will say whether the person is going to get surveyed in the Titanic ship or not. So for that, we are going to explore the data set, Titanic data set. So already I have this thing. I have already worked on this data set and I have the code. I will just open that and we will explore the data set in detail. Yes. I have this Titanic, yes. Titanic.ipn. Okay. And one more thing, morning we have worked extensively on this Jupyter Lab. After working, if you want to download that page, okay, this is the icon. If you suppose morning we worked on this data set exercise, so I forgot to say that in the morning session. After working out, if you want to download this working file and save in a system, you can download. If you click this, it will download this page, the code page, and you can save in the desired location in your PC. Good. Now our agenda is that to explore the Titanic dataset, and I have uploaded the Titanic dataset in the working environment. So now for data analysis and wrangling, so we are going to use these packages, libraries. So import pandas as PD, import numpy as NP, import
Sir, can you please repeat from how to get the code, sir? From that, can you please repeat?
No, this code I have already written for you. Okay. This code you can type as and when. Okay. Have you uploaded this Titanic CSV file to the working environment?
That okay, sir.
Yes, uploaded.
That you have done, it's okay. Then you have to follow this step. Okay.
Okay.
So now these are the libraries which I'm going to use extensively for exploring this Titanic dataset. You please type. So import pandas as PD, import numpy as NP, import random as RND. So these are the libraries which is used for data analysis and data wrangling. And for visualization, already we discussed in the morning session. We have two important libraries like import cborn as SNS, import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. These are the libraries which will be used extensively for this exploring the data set, Titanic dataset. Please, you please work side by side with me so that you can able to really appreciate how it works. Please type this libraries. Please type this both in cell 1 and cell 2. This is cell 1 and this is cell 2. If you done this, cell 1 and cell 2, you have to import all the libraries which you are going to use for exploring this data set. If you're done, you can go for the cell 3. The cell 3, what we have done is that we are trying to read this CSV file. CSV file is nothing but comma separated value. It looks like in Excel, but then the values are separated by the comma. Instead of separating in the rows and columns, like in Excel, you have rows and columns. Here in CSV file, the values will be separated by the comma. That's called comma separated value. So now I'm going to read the data. So whatever there is in the CSV file, I'm going to read it. So for that, we need to have the panda. We have to use the panda library. So already we have imported import pandas as PD. So instead of panda, we can put PD. So PD dot read CSV. What does it do? This function do? This function will take a data set and will return as a data frame. Data frame is nothing but rows and columns. You put the data in the rows and columns. So PD dot read underscore CSV file. It will open. So this PD dot read underscore CSV. It will take the parameter of location of the file. What is the location? Already we have loaded this Titanic.csv as in the working environment. If it is there somewhere, if you are working with some Spider IDE of Python, then you have to specify the entire location where this dataset is loaded. But now we have loaded this Titanic.csv in the working environment. So directly you can say read this Titanic.csv. So pd.read underscore CSV Titanic.csv. You have to give the file name here. So if you give the file name here, it will convert the data into the data frame. So that data frame I have stored as train underscore df. Df stands for data frame. So now the entire data which is there in the Titanic.csv, now it will be there in the train underscore df. Okay. So now we want to know what are the features present in the data set. As I said, every column heading is known as a feature. Technical term for column headings in data analytics and machine learning is known as a feature. So we want to know what are the features present in the data set. To know what are the features present in the data set, you have to use this line. So print df dot columns dot values. If I execute this statement, what happened? Yeah. First you have to execute this df, then you have to go for the print statement. So I didn't execute this statement, so it throws an error. So read this. Yeah. First you have to execute this import. Then you have to go step by step. So I'm executing this import, and I'm executing this cborn and matplotlib. Then I'm executing this Titanic. I'm reading this Titanic file. Then I'm reading what is there in that. What are the features that is present in the Titanic dataset. So if I execute train underscore df dot columns dot values, I will get a list. I said now list. I will get a list. Why it is called a list? Because it's enclosed in the square bracket, which contains all the features All the features means all the columns, name, column heading. So passenger ID, survey, P class name, gender, age, CBSP, parts, ticket, fare, cabin, M1. These are the different features that is present in the Titanic.csv. All those things will be written. So for fetching the feature from the data set, you have to use columns.values, which will fetch you the features. Until then it is okay. Please type this. Can I proceed? Okay. Thank you, Munna. You've been constantly responding. Thanks for that. So once you got to know what are the columns there in the data set, then you have to know what is the values. If you want to know what are the values present inside the CSV file, you can always use the data frame. Now, what is the data frame here? The data frame name is nothing but train_df.
Yeah.
Okay. This C-bond specificity is for visualization that we will discuss in the later part. Already we discussed in the morning session there are top 10 most Python libraries which is being used for data analytics part. C-bond and this matplotlib, which is both used for visualizing the data. Okay. So now I want to look into the top 10 rows in the data set. I want to look at the first 10 rows in the data set. Then for examining or for visualize or for to see the first 10 rows, we have to use the command dataframe.head. So again, dataframe is nothing but train_df, train_df dot head. So what does it do? If I execute this line, I can able to see the first 10 rows in the data set. See here, if I execute train_f dot head, how to execute? You have to click in the cell. After clicking the cell, you have to click shift and enter, both together. Shift enter, both if you click together, you can able to see the output. Until then, can you able to follow me in anywhere you stuck somewhere? Should I repeat something?
So could you explain? Sorry.
Yes, please.
Could you explain the need for C-bond?
I just
why
said,
do
ma'am,
we?
C-bond is that's for visualization part. That I will discuss in the course of time. C-bond and the matplotlib are mainly used for visualizing the data.
Okay.
We'll see why we need that.
Okay.
We'll see that in the course of time. Okay.
Okay.
So until then, you can able to get the output. Dataframe.head can able to get the output. First 10 rows.
Yeah, I was able to. Thank you.
First 5 rows we have got.
Yeah, sorry, 5 rows. Yeah, I just want to make the first 5 rows you will get. Initially it was 10. So, but if you want to get 10 rows, only thing is that you have to change the parameter. See here, head I didn't give pass any parameter. If you pass 10 here, then I will get first 10 rows as an output. See here. Instead, I didn't pass any parameters here. If you don't pass any parameter, then it will return only 5 rows. See here, only 5 rows is returned. But if you want to really want 10 rows, 15 rows, I can have to specify the parameter. Since I didn't preview the first 10 rows in the data set, so you can put head of 10. So what does it do? It will return first 10 rows in the data set. See here? Sorry. First 10 rows it will return. Similarly, you want to get last 10 rows in the data set. Data set is nothing but the CSV file. You want to get last 10 records. So then the syntax is nothing but train_df dot tail of 10. If you execute this code, then it will return last 10 rows. If you don't give this 10 as a parameter, then it will return last 5 rows. Is it okay? Can you able to follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Next, now we are slowly exploring the data set. Now what we are doing, we are exploring. We are in the first phase and second phase. We are slowly exploring what is there in the data set. Now we want to know how many number of non-null rows are there, and what are the columns there, and what is the type of the column. What is the data type we already discussed in the morning, okay? What are the different kinds of data we discussed? And what is the type also we discussed while doing the fundamentals of Python. Okay, so if you want to know, if you have a variable and if you want to know its type, you can always type the syntax type of a particular variable. It will throw you what kind of variable it is. So if you want to know what is the data set of each column contains, and I want to know what is the non-null rows, type of the column, just you have to type train_df dot info. Type train_df dot info and you please execute the statement. If you execute this statement, you will get the output like what is the column name, what is the non-null rows, what is the count, and what is the data type. And able to get this? Find underscore df dot info. If you give info, that info will give column names, what count of non-null rows. Non-null means what? If we have a column, 10 columns, if we have a column with 10 rows, 4 columns are empty, only 6 columns are having the data, then that count will be displayed here. And the empty columns count will not be displayed. Only in the particular column, how many number of rows containing the data, that count will be displayed. Okay. So we have passengers ID 418 rows. We have full of data. For surveyed we have 418 rows. P class we have 418 rows with data. Name we have 418 rows with data. Gender we have 418 rows with data. For age we doesn't have 418 data with data. We have only 332 rows with the data. Remaining rows does not have age. It is empty. Okay. And then in the last column it says what is the type of the column. So passenger ID is integer. Surveyed is integer, name and gender is nothing but object, age is float, rest of the column type has been displayed in the last column. Have we got this? To have the preview of column, non-null rows, the type of the column in the data set, we have to use the info function, find underscore df dot info. I hope you are all with me. Can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now we want to analyze the statistics of this column. I have some, how many columns are there in the data set? Quickly can even tell me? There are 12 columns. See, we have 0 to 11. So there are 12 columns in the data set. 12 columns are always called as 12 features. But I want to know the statistical feature of the column. So imagine that I want to find a statistical feature. Don't think that for statistics you have to do a lot of things. Python made it very simple. We can use this function, train underscore df dot describe. If you use this function, you can find the basic statistics like percentile, mean, standard deviation for that particular data which you are exploring. So I'm just executing this train underscore df dot describe. So I execute this piece of code, I can able to get the statistics of particular column. So since I said statistics, the statistics will work only on what data type? It will only work on integer and float. It will not work on strings. So what are the integers we have? Passenger ID surveyed P class 1, 2, 3, age 4, SIP path, and fact. So what are the columns which is of data type int and float? Only for those we can able to see these statistics. What we can see what is the count of the column, what is the column which contains the data. It will count, it will say the mean of the particular column. It will calculate standard deviation of the particular column. What is the minimum value? It will calculate the 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 70 percentile, and it will also calculate the maximum value in the particular column. All these things will be done by executing a simple statement, data frame dot describe. Only if you do this, it will throw the basic statistics that can be done possible on the columns in the data set. Now, if you done this, very important exploration of the data set. This describe is very, very important to analyze the basic statistics of the features in the data set. Good. So this describe, we can able to get the basic statistics like percentile, mean, standard deviation of the data set. Next, we want to know, aside from this info itself, we get to know what are the columns is having the null values. So from this, we can see that age is not having 418, so it is having some null values. Another column which is having null values is cabin. Okay. Of course, far also contains one null values, but we can leave it because it's only one out of 418. Only one row in far is having null value, so we can leave it. The majority cabin is having majority of the missing values, and the age is having majority of the missing values. So to find out how many number of missing values are there in a particular column in the data set, we have to use, for checking the null values, we have to use train underscore df dot isNull dot sum. We execute this statement, we can find out each and every column how many number of missing values are there, total number of missing values in a particular column. Let's say no missing value for passenger survey, P class, name, gender, age, we don't have missing value. CPSP, pass, ticket, we don't have any missing value. MBAC also we don't have missing value. we have missing value for age, we have 86 missing value percent, and for fare we have 1 missing value percent, and for cabin we have 327 missing value. So this missing value has to be taken care for data analytics project. It is very, very important to handle the missing values. So to know whether the data set contains missing value or not, we have to use the syntax. So I'm just counting in the data set, is there any missing value? If there is any missing value, count the missing values. That is what? Data frame dot is null dot sum. That will throw the count of missing values of each and every column. That will throw the count of missing value of each and every column. Can you able to follow this code syntax? I hope you can able to follow the syntax. Well, if we're getting this output.
Yes.
Okay, good. We're getting good. So I want to find the data types. Of course, while you giving info itself, you'll get the data type. But specifically, if you want to only to find the data types in the columns, you can use train_df .d types. If you execute this statement, it will show the column name and it will show the data type of the particular column. This is already well done, but specific if you want to know the data type, this is possible. Next, if you want to sort the data set according to some particular column, imagine that I want to sort the whole data set. This data set contains how many records? 418 records. I want to sort this data set with respect to one column. Okay, I can do that. So for doing that, for sorting the data values to a particular column, we have to use the syntax train_df dot sort values, and we have to mention which column for which column we have to sort. Sorry, sort values. Which column we have to sort? Fare. Not underscore values. So we have to sort the data set with respect to the fare column. If we execute this statement, we can see based on the fare, the whole data set is sorted. Where is fare? The fare is 0. See, from ascending already sorted. From fare 0 to the costliest fare, this data set is being sorted. See here? 0266 is the first one. Similarly, it is starting with respect to the fare. It starts from 0 and it ends with the maximum value. So the entire data set can be sorted with respect to a particular column. That can be done with sort_values function, and that function will take parameter as the column name. Understood? If you want to sort this according to the age, then that is also possible. AGE. See here? It is now sorted according to the age. Understood? Are you getting the same output?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How can we sort in the descending order, sir?
I think in this sort function will have so many parameters. I think you have to set the sort function as descending. That so many parameters are there, you can explore that.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
The sort function has so many parameters. One of the parameters is nothing but the column name. There are many other parameters. If you say that ascending as false, then it will sort as a descending. Right now, we couldn't able to remember the syntax, but there is a separate parameter. One more parameter is that will sort as a descending. That you can explore.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, see. Good here. I have this solution here. See, ascending as false, then it will sort in descending way. I hope you got the answer here itself. Hello? Yes, Venkatramana?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it,
So
sir.
if you want to sort the descending way, then we have to say one more parameter to add, ascending as false. If you say ascending as false, then that sort will be on the descending. So what I did is, again, I'm going to sort this data set using fare, but then I don't want it in ascending way. I want it in the descending way. If you want the data set to be sorted in the descending way, you have to have one more parameter which is passed to the sort_value function, which is nothing but ascending equal to false. And what is this head? This head will always return the top rows. If it is no parameters mentioned, it will return 5 rows. If I mention some parameter, it will return 10 rows. So what does it do? It will sort the fare value in the descending way, and after sorting, it will return only the 10 rows. See here, the fare will be sorted in the descending way. So maximum fare is nothing but 512. So the first 10 descending rows, which is sorted according to the fare, is being displayed. Okay. Okay. Now, so already we are just sorting this and we are displaying the output. But this sorted data frame is not storing in another data frame. This GF is nothing but data frame, as said already. So in order to save the sorted data frame to another data frame, we have to assign the sorted value to a data frame. So here what I'm doing is that I'm just sorting the data set according to the fare, and I'm sorting in a descending way. So after sorting in the descending way, I have to store this in another variable. That is nothing but train underscore df. Now if you print train underscore df, this will print the new data frame. The new data frame will contain the values which is sorted according to the fare in the descending order. So if you try to execute this, this is the output I will be getting. See here? This data, now this train underscore df will contain the data frame. It will contain the data frame which is sorted on fare in the descending order. See? Fare, where is fare? Yes, see? This now this if you print this, it will display the first row as first row with the ID as 343, fare as 512. This is sorted in the descending row. Now if you got this, and I proceed.
Yes.
Yes. So next we have how we can save the sorted version of the data frame. This is another way by which we can store the sorted data frame in the data frame, new data frame itself. So for that, this is another syntax. First syntax is that assigning the return data frame to a new data frame. That's the first way. Second way is that to save the sorted version to a new data frame. This is the second way. You have to use a parameter called in place equal to true. If we use this parameter in place equal to true, what does it do? It will sort this data frame and it will replace already existing data frame with the sorted data frame, which is sorting with according to the value fare in the descending order. This is another way. So what does it do? It will train underscore df dot sort underscore value sort according to fare in the descending order, and in place equal to true. In place equal to true, what means what? It will replace the existing data frame with the sorted data frame. So if I run this, it will show that the results with the sorted data frame with respect to the fare value which is sorted in the descending way. See here, fare value sorted in the descending. These are the two ways by which you can sort the values and put it in the new data frame. Have you heard the syntax? Python library. Now I have all this output. Yes. Next we have a syntax. It will sort columns with string which has NaN and again. So what is NaN? Tell me, but not a number. So I'm just trying to sort the columns and to be putting at the end. So I'm just trying to sort this cabin. Cabin is a column is having the NaN value. Sort this cabin in ascending order, and you put the row which is having null NaN value for the cabin that should be placed at the end of the data frame. This is the condition. So this cabin column which contains NaN value. I want to sort the data frame, the ascending order with respect to cabin. But while sorting this cabin in ascending order with respect to the values, this column contains NaN value. That NaN value should be only placed at the end of this data frame. It should not come in between. It should not come in. There's all NA in value in the cabin column will push towards the end. So we just run this code. If I run this code, you can see this data frame output will be projected where it is sorted according to the cabin. The cabin, it starts with A11, so it is sorting in ascending order. So A11, A18. But the last row in this data frame will be nothing but the values is contained cabin as NA. In the last row, you have NA. See, can you able to see this? All the NAN values will be pushed towards the end. NA means what? As I said already, there are some columns which will contain missing value, which will not having any value, or it will contain not a number value. All the not a number value, I want to push it to the last, then I have to follow the syntax. So after sorting this data frame, I just go with the cabin and the NA as last. I want to look only the head values. Head means first few rows, tail means last few rows. But then I can pass the parameter as it is here. So first 20 rows and last 20 rows if you want to see after sorting with respect to cabin and pushing the NAN value the last, I can able to use the output like this. So these are some of the ways by which you can explore the data set in all possible ways. Good. Now I am taking a particular column in the data frame, particular feature in data frame, and just want to know the statistics of a particular column. So as I said, there's one column in the data frame is nothing but sex, it's nothing but gender. I want to know what are the genders are there and how many times this gender has been there in the data set. Just want to know, in other words, I just want to know how many males and how many females are there in the data set. To identify and explore that statistics, I can use the syntax line_df. I want to explore the sex variable and I want to count the values in it. So if I execute the statement, it will show in the data set male value is 266 males are there and the data set it contains 152 females. This is a quick exploration of the data set. The value underscore counts will explore a particular column. We'll say, for example, I have taken this sex and we'll say male gender is 266, female gender is 152, count are there in the data set. I hope you until then can able to follow. Thanks. Okay. Next, I'm going to explore the data set and count the number of unique value that occur in the data set or in a column. Count the number of unique value. Unique value. Please make sure unique value. So if you want to count the unique value of sex, how many unique values are there in the sex column? Either it will be male or it will be female. So if you want to count the unique value for sex, it will be only 2 because male and female. So similarly, you want to count the unique value for all the columns. So then you have to use line_df dot n unique. So this syntax will return you the column name and the unique value in the column. So execute this line, it will say passenger ID has 418 unique passenger ID. Surveyed has only 0 and 1, so it will contain 2. P class has 3. Name, there are 418 unique names available. Sex is nothing but gender. Gender have only 2 unique values. Age has 79. Parts, basically tickets, fare, cabin, airport. All this unique value will be displayed by function n unique. We got this? Have we executed this statement?
Yes.
Data frame dot n unique will give you the column and the number of unique value in the particular column. Okay. But if you want, this will give the entire statistics, it will give the entire unique value for all the columns. But then you are very specific about the particular column, not for all the columns, then you have to use the syntax. Data frame of embark.unique. So this will give the unique values in embark. Already we know embark has 3 unique values, so this will return specific to the particular column. The embark column will have 3 unique values. Similarly, you want to have unique value records for more than one column, then you have to put comma. So in df embark comma 6, you have to find any unique value. Then if you execute the statement, it will show you embark has 3 unique columns, 3 unique values, and 6 has 2 unique values. These are some of the ways by which you can explore the data set. Okay, so now we're going to check how we can change the data types of a column in the data. So already we explored what is the column present and what are the data types of the particular column. But if you want to change the data type of a particular column in a data frame, this is possible. So for that, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to change this embark data type. Already we know embark data type is a what data type. Can you please look into that info? Please go back and look into the info. Embark, yeah. Where is the type? Yeah. You can do RD type. The embark is of object type. But I want to convert this embark from object type to the category type. Please make a note. Please make a note where I start. Yeah. Please make a note. The data set will not contain appropriate data type. Sometimes while downloading the data set, the column may be numeric, like age. But while downloading the data set, if we explore the data set, the age will be of categorical type. Actually, it should be of integer type. But while downloading or the data set by itself may contain erroneous data type. In those cases, you are free to convert a particular column to the appropriate data type. So before applying the machine learning algorithms on the data set, you have to make sure that each and every feature, each and every column in the data set, it's of correct data type. Sometimes it may not be correct data type. If it is not in the correct data type, it is your responsibility to convert that particular column or particular feature in the data set to the corresponding data type. So for example, here I want to convert this embark data type to category data type. If you look, what is this embark data type contains? Embark contains only 3 unique values. 3 unique values. What are the unique values of embark? Please explore here in the data set. Embark contains C, A, B, C, E, C, S, Q. The unique values in the embark is nothing but CSQ. This CSQ is of categorical data type, but then if you find the data type in the data set, which is in the CSV file, it is showing object, but it should not be an object data type. You have to convert this object data type to categorical data type for this embark feature. How we can convert? First, I'm trying to find out the feature of the data type embark. It is showing as an object. So convert this. This is the syntax. So try underscore df means the data frame of embark dot as data type category. So what does this function do? This as type function will take the new data type and it will convert the particular column into the category data type. So this syntax will convert the embark data type as a category data type. So after conversion, you want to make sure that whether it is converted or not. So I'm just printing the data type of column embark. If you execute the statement, you can see previously it was object data type. After executing, it is converted into category data type. Until then, are you able to get this? Class, can you able to get this? This is a very important thing. Well, these are the things that you have to do in the first and second phase. Second phase especially, exploring the data. You have to check each and every column, it's of correct data type or not. If it is not, you have to convert before applying the models. So I will give you 2 minutes time. Can you please explore whether all other columns is of correct data type or not? I will give you 2 minutes time. Please explore all other columns or all other features, the data set Titanic, are of correct data type or not. Please explore. In the meantime, I will just come back. Please. Yes, I'm back. Have you found out any of the column which is not of the desired data types in the data frame?
Yeah, I think survived has only 2 values, so I think it can be a category, sir.
Yes, it can be a category.
Similarly, P class also.
P class, how many unique values are there?
I think 3 unique values.
Yes, P class is of 3 unique values. Can you name what are the unique values of P class? Is 3, 2, 1, I think.
3, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, that can also be a categorical. Yes. Any other thing can you explore? I hope we are all working side by side as I show the demo. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So we can always look into the column which is not of appropriate data type in the data frame. We can convert to the appropriate data type. Good. Now, for example, we have converted this mbot from the object data type to the categorical data type. Good. Next, can we filter from the data set? Filtering means what? Like querying. Like you have a table, and if you want to have only a particular column, I can always use that SQL query. Even when I have a login table, I want to display the username, so I can write a query. Select username from login table. Semicolon. If I execute this, I will get only the username, login name from the table. Otherwise, if I want to have the designation of a faculty from the faculty table, so select designation from faculty table, semicolon. That's all. I will get all the designation from the faculty. Of the designation from the faculty. If I want name and designation, I will put select name, designation from the faculty table. So this is a query that you will write to explore the database. Similarly, we can also explore the data set with small conditions. We can use a small filtering condition to explore the data frame. So filtering under one condition. For example, here I want to filter the data which is having mbok.c. So I can use data frame of mbok, and I want only this value. I want only the value which contains mbok.c. So this is the filtering condition under one condition. So data frame, and I want to filter the data frame with mbok, and in specific in mbok I want only the C. I don't want other type of mbok. So if I execute this statement, then I can get only the IDs, so which contains the data mbok type of C. So if you want only and this piece of syntax, what does it do? It will change all values in the mbok column as C. So if we want to change all the mbok, if I want to change the values in the mbok column to be C, then I can put data frame of mbok equal to imports, you have to put C. You can change the mbok column. All the columns in the data frame will be mbok value will be C. If I want to only display the first 5 rows, after changing, we can display that. Okay, good. After after modifying, see here I have marked I have made sure that all the embarked in the embarked column will contains only the value C. It will not contain any other values apart from C. So, but then I cannot able to view all of the columns in the data set. If you want to see all of the columns in the data set after filtering this embark with respect to C, I can use data frame where embark will be C. I hope you all in tune with me.
Fine, ma'am.
So this is another way to filter the data. So another way to see all the information where we want to filter the data with respect to embark, and the embark value should be C. So train underscore data frame, our embark is equal to C. This will return a data frame. I'm just assigning this return data frame to the embark underscore C underscore mask, and I'm filtering it. These are the filtering options available. Like you have write a query, these are the filtering options available. So if you want to filter the data which does not contain C, so if you want to filter C, I want to select the data in the data frame where the value is not equal to C, where the embarked value is not equal to C. The embarked value is not equal to C. If you execute the statement, I will not get. If you execute the statement, it will take some 2 minutes. Yes, thank God. Yes. So in this piece of code, we have we have taken the column embark and we have marked this embark column throughout C. So this statement, if you execute, it will see embark column will be C. There will be all the values in the embark will be only C. That is what the syntax here. I'm taking the embark column and I'm assigning C value for all the rows in the data set. So now second condition is that I'm having a filter condition. What I want is a filter condition is that I want to display the columns which does not have C. If I execute the statement, you should not literally print any of the rows because all the columns are C. But I want to here what condition I do is that the column which does not contain the embark value is C. So this is false. So it will not display any of the rows. It should not display any other row. You see here, it will not display any other row. It will not display any other row because all the columns in the embark is of C type. But here condition is given is that you have to filter the column. You have to display the column which does not have C. So all the columns are C, so it will not display any of the rows in the data set. So similarly, we can also filter the data with respect to the uncondition. And we want to see, for example, we want to see the list of passengers whose fare is less than 100 and who are female. So in order to have these unconditions and use this, first I am filtering the data set with respect to the fare less than 100, and then I'm just filtering it with respect to gender as female, and then I'm just ending both these conditions. So first I have filtered this pair and I have used the data frame called df underscore frame underscore mask. Second, I am filtering the data frame with respect to gender as female, and then storing the data frame as grind df underscore sex underscore mask. So I want to use uncondition. So simply use these two data frame and you and it. Okay, so that will give you the filtering the data with respect to the pair is less than 100 and who are female. See here, the gender will be always female and it contains only the data which is less than 100. Always see that cross verify with the respect to the output. Just like you write and in a SQL query. Okay. Same thing, but the syntax is much less.
चलेंगे बहुत से हाँ? पूरा अटक गया मेरा काम हाँ कौन जा रहा है क्या जा रहा है तो मेरे मोबाइल में ना सिर्फ 5% बचा है आज का क्या नाम है भेज दी हूँ ये दोनों बच्चे का बस 2 ही बच्चे का दिए थे ना उसमें बस 2 ही का दिए हो ना मैं चेक नहीं किया मैं डायरेक्ट भेजी हूँ
Ma'am, what happened, ma'am? Are you saying something?
Sir, speaker has been disconnected. Please participants wait. We'll look after it. Participants, sorry for inconvenience. We'll wait for the speaker to connect.
गाड़ी खुली है क्या? ये लॉक करके गए? नहीं, रहने दो। मनोज सर से मिलने गए क्या?
Habiba, who's that? I think unknown, without their knowledge, the mic is unmuted.
Habiba ma'am, will you please share this
Hello?
CSV file through email? The problem is I'm not able to open it through WhatsApp. I could manage Titanic file, but the diabetes file I'm not able to open. Okay, ma'am, we'll share an email shortly. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Ma'am, like,
सर निकले? मैं तो आ
ma'am, you
गई।
can just get a shared folder on the Google Drive and you can share the link of that folder.
Hello, can you able to hear me?
Sure, sir.
Hello? I'm audible?
आज नहीं दिए हैं।
Yes, sir.
ये चौथा।
Yes, you are audible, Dr. Tyagarajan.
Oh, thank you. And please bear with me.
दीक्षिका।
Power fluctuation. I'm just trying to share the code. So I think you can able to view the Firefox browser. I think we are looking into the filtering condition and filtering condition. We can also use this unfiltering condition. And
पांच हुए ना एक ऑनलाइन है संध्या का संध्या आवेश सौरभ
so we are now going to yes yeah so and the conditions we can combine two different filtering conditions using and that we have seen. Similarly, we can also combine two different conditions using or statement. So here I have filtered the data with respect to the fare. Fare is greater than 500 and age is greater than 70. And then I have applied the filtering condition or condition. So in the data frame. So same like how you did and we can do the same for all. Filtering with respect to fare greater than 500, I am storing in the separate data frame. So fare underscore mask 2. And similarly, I'm filtering the age greater than 70 and I'm storing it in the age mask. So I'm now using the OR condition. So it will and then I'm operating this OR condition on the train underscore TF. So execute this statement. You can, I think I lost the connection with the server.
बैटिंग हाल इसमें गप मार
किसे गप कर रहा है?
आपको
Yes.
इसको मेरे को
सब जाते करेंगे।
So if you execute the statement, it will contain the data set where the fare is greater than 500, the age is greater than 70. Since I'm using OR condition here, so either the fare is greater than 500 or the age is greater than 70. So you can, if you look at the first row, age is not greater than 70, but fare is greater than 500. So this satisfies the accordingly. If you go to the second row, here the data. Can I request Sandhya Bhattacharya to please use the mic? Participants, minimum courtesy is expected, please. Sandhya Bhattacharya, minimum courtesy is expected, please. Minimum courtesy.
Sandhya, Madam Sandhya.
May I request the host to expel them, please, otherwise you can expel them
Madam
from the meeting.
Sandhya.
You can expel them from the meeting, actually. Admin can expel them. Okay. And if you look at the second result, the age is greater than 70 and where far is less than 500. So this satisfies one of the conditions, so this works perfectly. Next is that we are just filtering the data according to the regional values. So we just want to be just interested in the data in which the cabin value is not known. So show me the passengers whose cabin is unknown. There are many values where the cabin is alien. I'm just only interested in those data. I can filter that with respect to cabin and where there is listener. So that will filter data with respect to the cabin listener.
पुराने दो सिस्टम रखे होंगे
The cabin
घर का नहीं है डिले के टाइम का है वो
डिले के टाइम का है मुझे भी मालूम।
हाँ
मैं एसएसडी लगा के देखा
the participants can be expelled who are making
चल रहा है कि नहीं काम का है कि नहीं मतलब खर्चा भी कम मैं नहीं बोलूंगा तुम लोग को
Can you please do that? Okay. Now the very important part in data analytics is that, as I said, we now so far now we explored all the things. How many number of categorical variable, whether the data type, the features is not characteristic or not. Whether it contains any null values.
आपको क्या लगता है आप उसको क्यों करोगे करो ना दोस्त की तरीके किसे दिखा रही हो कर दो कर दिया ब्रो बस फोन पड़ गया कर दिया ना कर दिया मत देखो शक्ल जाओगे बंदे क्या बंदे
When then, sir, can you please mute all the participants? Except the person. Yes, ma'am. Can I continue? Hello? It's okay. So now we are coming to an important phase where we are going to concentrate only on the columns which is having the null values, because this null values cannot proceed with the columns with the null values. Somehow the value for the column is having the null. How and what we can do with the null value columns is that we are going to explore now. So to fix out which are the columns having the null values, we need to find which are the columns, right? So for that you have to use the syntax data frame dot is null dot. So this will give you the column and the number of null values. So age we have 86 null values, fire we have one null value. Similarly for cabin we have 327 null values. These null values must be treated. Otherwise we cannot use this data set for further analysis. So we are going to deal with that missing values that we is going to discuss now. So another value is that how to find out how many number of null values is there, or how we can visualize the null values in the particular column of the data set. That can be done using the heat map. It's a nice visual representation of the data set, which will show you which are the columns having the null values. For that, please do this sns.heatmap. In that parameter you have to pass data frame.isnl and C bar is called and set the parameters.
वो पेपर पर है नहीं तो क्यों पैसा देंगे मेरा कैसे नहीं करा भाई कोई यहाँ नहीं देखने आ रहा
1 second.
साल में 2 ही पेपर का दूंगा पैसा
Sir, I can
अभी 2 ही पेपर छपेगा हाँ सर 2 पेपर का देंगे तो 2 पेपर छप
साल का 2 पेपर
तो हम लोग भी 2 पेपर
सिर्फ 2 ही पेपर लिखेंगे ना उससे ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करेंगे
When then can you please expel this Sweta Bhattacharya? She has been making noise. Please, can you please mute her or expel from this?
पेटेंट कितना देगा 3 पेटेंट
I
का
think only the
देगा
host can do. I am only a presenter. Cannot do this.
करवा दिया रहता
Move in this, sir.
யாரு நான் இதெல்லாம் சாப்பிட்டா கொஞ்சம் இதா இருக்கும்ல உடம்புல அப்படின்னு ஒரு மைண்ட் செட்
I will just contact the player with me. He doesn't have the control.
नहीं हो पाता
So we'll sit together and get a draft. I can't draft it.
நீயா இப்படி வர ஒரு இடத்துல நான் ஒருத்தர் மாதிரி இப்பெல்லாம் ரொம்ப இல்ல இப்பெல்லாம் கிளீன் பண்ணி அது வந்துடலாம்டா